Hey guys, Monday, September 30th, 2024. Let's see what the Black Widow did today. So far, not that much action. We know that there is some resistance level there. Volume, you could probably say maybe is even, 50-50. Maybe a little edge to the bears, but from what I'm seeing here, it's kind of balanced. They're up there in the higher range. So the bulls and bears are, sloshing mud at each other. If we put our trend line, you can see that they are having a tough time. Yep, on a log scale chart, they're having a tough time. You can see that there. We go into our simple glance chart. What's interesting is that tomorrow is the TD9. TD9 is Tom D. Mark 9th candle. Could be a possible turning point, so be cautious. Hockey stick here. So be very cautious unless the bulls push it higher. Looking at our geometry chart, let's go to the Andrews pitchfork. You can see that now I adjusted mine from the October 27th high. You can see that we're having a tough time here. And let's see, channels. You guys already seen the channel. We're kind of hovering around there. No retracement yet. Static cycles, you can see from June the 11th high. Up, what is it, 315, 311, 315. You're ending in some possible turning points here. And it's kind of lining up between the 27th and October 2nd. So this is a very nice, interesting area to keep an eye on. If you're a bear, you're probably betting that maybe we'll pull back. If you're a bull, I think you'd be a little nervous right here, especially with this price action today. Looking at our FT levels, pretty much the DNA of nat gas. So far, we're holding pretty good, not having violated this area. So that's good. And looking at our Gann grid from the first impulse wave to here, this is your 50% right here, and we're having a tough time there. So there's a lot of resistance. I could just make a whole video on just resistance just right here, using geometry and other different calculations. But, I'm just showing you what I'm seeing. It's up to you to decide what you want to do, which I like it like that. Gap fills. You know how many gap fills we got? 1, 2, 3. 3 gap fills. This is a new one. I think this one's going to get filled because this would be your wave 4. Fill it up and then end up with a wave 5 into October, even maybe November. So that's what I'm betting on, but I'm not short yet. I'm waiting. Maybe it's going to probably be tonight or in the US session. Trend line on a non-log scale chart. You can see that I adjusted it here. And that one's easy. This is 101 trading. Trend lines, and you can see that we're having a tough time there. You don't need a lot of Gann or Elliott wave to figure that out. And I think that's it. Maybe we could do the SO3. October 2nd is going to be your midpoint from this low. So it's going to be interesting. We've had an impulse pop on the 1/3, kind of stalled on the 1/4. So the halfway point will be October 2nd, which will be Wednesday, right? Yep. And tomorrow you got TD9, halfway point. Maybe go down, fill this gap, and maybe on 2/3, which is what, 10-14? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. It's a lot going on, but I'm keeping my eyes there. Key level on the yearly pivot. This is our midpoint chart. It's 286. You see that it found support there. Doji candle. You got an 8th TD mark. Tom D mark 8th. Next week will be a 9th. Even if we just go sideways this whole week, maybe next week is where they slam it. But tomorrow we get the TD9. And it's a hit or miss, but we'll see. Hockey stick, interesting. I like hockey sticks. This was a hockey stick here. Lead it up to the turning point. We got another hockey stick. Well, what will violate the hockey stick is that it pushes higher, and then we got one more to go. But so far, a couple of hockey sticks. And on the 4-hour, you can see that we're having a tough time trying to close above Friday's high, about 293. A lot of undecided, back and forth. If you're a bull, you probably should be a little bit worried here because you're not really moving higher. You're not having the same momentum, but it's too early to tell. It's only Monday. Looking at my indicators, it looks like it's more leaning that it wants to turn. Stokes are kind of going sideways with a little bias now as a turning point, but that's on the 4-hour, so we'll see. Looking at the 4-hour, this is where your gap is. So you got your midpoint right here for the week. The targets would be 269 all the way to 263. Maybe this is your wave for the week. If it gets down there, we'll see. Or maybe you may want to push even lower. Maybe test this level right here, which is pretty strong. 257. I think on the cloud, if I'm not mistaken, that's a key level right here. Yep, 252 is a key level. And on the weekly, it's 257. Yeah, 252 to 257. You want to keep an eye on that. On the 4-hour, that's 252, 257. So, yeah, anywhere between 263 here, just in case they want to trap some bears. And then eventually resume the trend higher into a wave 5, which is October or November. Looking at the hourly, the line in the sand for tomorrow will be 290. So if you can stay above 290, you have a fighting chance to get to 298. So this is what I'm speculating. If we in the overnight pop 298, try to hold it, and the bears get really aggressive, they're going to pounce it and push it back down and maybe continue from there and keep with high volume and thrust to the downside. But I think 298 will be your target, and I think that would be the bull trap if the bears are successful. If not, and they push and continue pushing higher, then the bears are losing their strength. But it was very, very back and forth here. And you got the 200 moving average climbing up. So we'll see how this is going to play out. If you look at the 5-minute chart, you can kind of tell the back and forth and like the traps. So like in the overnight, they you just kind of like get the psychology, and on top of that, the computers and everything, because it's all automated and everything. So we made the high Friday. Open Sunday night, just kind of sideways. So the bears didn't want to get aggressive and push it down. They're letting them, the bulls come up, push it back down. Come up, give them hopes of higher, we're going to stay above the 45. Push it back down. One more time, push it back down. One more time, push it back down. So they are building a short position like this. So they weren't building it here. They're building it here. So building position, building position, building position, building position, building position. And if they want to get them grace, one more, slosh at it would be 298. And that's my speculation. If they hold it there in the US session, they hit it, they're probably going to hit it really hard tomorrow. But that's just me speculating. And that's the kind of price action I'm seeing. And the bulls are defending this area right here, which is your 288. But now the stakes are rising and your midpoint now is here. So let's see, and you can see that the 200 now, I'm on a 5-minute, but you can see that the 200 is already at 290. So if the bears could see that the bulls are just kind of going sideways here, it's just going to be a matter of time when the big sellers will be like, all right, boys, it's time to pounce down. And volume is going to kick in, and then the bulls are going to get spooked. But you're going to need big volume. So I recommend big volume chart tomorrow, like something like that on the shorter time frame, and see who's dominating the US session if we go higher to 298. And once that bell rings, or in the overnight, you start seeing weakness and you already take out 282 on the overnight around here. It's just a matter of the US session to let the bulls get up here, and then any sign of weakness, attack. I'm going to leave it there. That's just all my thoughts, my speculation, my ideas. Take it as you may. Not a trading advice, but just kind of the way I see things. I'll keep you posted on my thoughts on that gas.